Well, the impacts of the Syrian civil war is already leaching into the region, other countries in the region, not least Iraq and Lebanon. What do you see as the consequences of these reports of infighting among Syria's rebel factions?
Well, it's a very interesting statement from Zawahiri that he's putting clear blue water between Jabhat al-Nusra, which is the al-Qaeda affiliate, and ISIS. I think the reason they're doing that is really about public relations, astonishingly enough. They feel that ISIS, in their leadership of Raqqa in the northeast of Syria, have been very brutal. And they want to separate ISIS from other al-Qaeda affiliates so that people realize that this is the real al-Qaeda and this other slightly more violent one is not.
So, given that it's clear that the rivalry between Qatar and Saudi Arabia has fueled factions within the Syrian opposition, we're talking to this story primarily because we're in the region, but it's an incredibly important one. If it goes without saying that Riyadh is clearly the dominant player in this region, how does that affect regional relationships going forward?
Well, I'm not sure I agree that there is this disconnect between the two. I think both of them want the same thing. I think both of them want to bring the conflict to a conclusion. Riyadh has been very keen to see the rebels armed, and I think they felt that there's been some pushback from the US. The Turks feel the same way. So there is this kind of discussion about what the best way forward is, and as you rightly say, the fragmentation of these different militia groups has made it much, much harder. When you and I spoke in the autumn, it was already fragmenting, but now the distinctions between all of these different groups makes it incredibly hard diplomatically and militarily.
Does Saudi think there is a conclusion anytime soon to this? And if so, do they believe that it will be absolutely definitively without Bashar al-Assad and his cabinet who exists today?
I think most people have believed that Assad has to go. That was the Geneva communique from last year.
At this point,
but he isn't going, and there doesn't seem to be any way to push him out diplomatically. So you've had the Geneva talks. They finished now. There'll be another round in a month or so. There's a lot of talk, as you said, in Russia. But in the end, there's no steel behind the words of the international community. And Assad and the people backing him in Russia and Iran clearly feel that they can win the war.